United, real therapy. Welcome, therapy army. The fucking bottle jobs bottled it again. Straight and simple. No fucking excuses. I don't want anybody coming here telling me about Sunday and that Sunday that. No fucking excuses. They bottled it. The game was in their hand in the first half and they fucking bottled it. Bunch of fucking worthless cowards. Bunch of cowards. That's what they are. Big up to every one of you. It is what it is. He should have fucking scored. He should have fucking scored. He should have scored. Villa Spurs 6 points behind us. We've got to fuck the games in hand. That means fuck all, bro. Games in hand means fuck all to me. It's about points on the board. We bottled jobs just like Arsenal. Yeah, we are. We went and bottled it at the stadium for the most famous history, the history of the biggest bottlers in English football. We went there and bottled it. Casemiro, absolutely disgusting tonight. Absolute bag of shite, Casemiro. Absolutely. He looks like he's fucking 41 years old. He looks like 40 fucking 1 years old. Since he's been back, nobody wants to have that fucking conversation. Nobody wants to have that conversation. Talk about Bruno fan club, Casemiro fucking fan club. Where the fuck are you? Absolutely shocking. Did not offer any defensive thing tonight for the defense. Didn't do anything. Didn't get across. It looks like he's playing like it's unfucking believable how he's playing. I swear to God, it's like the game's just got too fast for him. I swear, he's playing like he's fucking workhorse in midfield. He can't have that. He can't have players who play like workhorse. Bumbaye, how did you see that game?
Yes, bro. Evening therapy army. Well, if you go back and you look at what we were saying,
don't even get me started on Fred. Do not even get me started on effing Fred. Go ahead.
Oh, bro. Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
He needs to be sold in the fucking. He needs to be sold. Go and train with the kids. Go and train with the kids.
He was a burden tonight. We'll start with Fred since you mentioned him. I thought his start to finish was dreadful. He was absolutely awful. He stuck out like a sore thumb. So I don't want to give Fred too much airtime. He's more interested in his hair than his game. Every ball passed it away to the opposition. Just useless, bro. Look, I can't say I did not expect this kind of game, because I said the fear is that these guys are looking for a reaction. They have to. They're at home after the lambasting that they got. And Ryan Mason, man, he G'd them up and they competed tonight proper. That's the best I've seen them in a long time. I'll be honest with you. I thought Kane was excellent. I thought Romero was really good. I thought Son looked exactly like the Son that we all know. That's his job. He was doing what we know he's good at. And we've not seen that from Spurs for a long time. They were very good in the way they came at us. And I thought they were very good in the way they retracted and were compact. We need a striker. It's very evident. And you look at Man United, and what you see is we are where we are in the season because our defense has improved exponentially with 14 clean sheets. But our goal difference is 9. That tells you why we're winning games and why we're not killing games off. So I think that game for me, the first half, I thought it was good. I liked what I saw. It was a 50-50. I thought we shaded the first half. We were slightly better. We did score against the run of play, the second goal. They were well in the game constantly. You know, I never felt comfortable. Second half, they've gone in. Do you know what I mean? They've come out and they've done what they need to do. And it was a barrage, bro. For me tonight, the two things that are unfortunate was, look, I don't want to eat the guys' dinner tonight. I'm not going to do that, because I did think we did compete, but it wasn't. You know what I mean? It was a 50-50 game. They really turned up. I have to give them credit, man. They put a proper shift in. For me, I thought Luke Shaw was the Don tonight. I thought it was brilliant. He really played well. I thought Wan-Bissaka was very good. I thought Delo was good. I thought Bruno first half. And that's more or less it, to be honest with you. Sancho takes his goal well. But Sancho, Anthony, man, I'm still waiting. I'm still looking for the substance, man, where, you know what I mean? We are here. We're going to tear you. We're going to tear you apart. We're going to keep coming at you. We're going to keep doing the business. Kulusevski tonight just was relentless. It's either a cross, it's either a pass. It's just constant, constant, constant. Malacia was, steady Eddie. But I have to give them credit. And we can't kill games off, and we will never kill games off for two reasons. One, we cannot take the sting out of the game, and the constancy of the pressure just remains because we don't know how to do that. And we just cannot finish teams off because we don't have the penetration. We're missing a 9. I look at Kane's performance tonight. He was the key. He dropped deep. He drove with the ball. You see the Son goal. What a ball that is. That's the Bruyne job. What a beautiful ball. You see how he's always occupying men, and he switches the play. Kane is sick. If we have Harry Kane tonight, we win that game. But you don't have a 9. So this is the thing. And 10 of them players played against Brighton. 120-minute game. And it started to show.
I'm really sorry, Bombay. I'm really sorry. Yeah. But Kane didn't play in number 9. Kane played in midfield. He didn't play as a 9.
What I'm saying to you is Kane.
He didn't play
even when Kane plays. Even when Kane plays. Yeah, bro. Kane. You will find Kane in any game. He is one of the most competent players anywhere from the halfway line up to the box. So he had his chances, but he's also the guy that drops deep and he creates. Do you know what I mean?
I'm sorry, Bombay. He played good. He was their playmaker, but he didn't have any chances.
Brilliant, bro. Today he was a key guy for them.
Oh yeah, setting up the goals. Yeah, setting up the goals. Yeah, but setting up.
The goals. Bro, listen. If you Harry Kane,
number 9, a striker in the box, and Kane was not in the box. Kane was outside of the area in midfield majority of that game.
Bro. Harry Kane can operate there. But what I'm saying to you, if you have Harry Kane...
It's not about operating there, Pumbaye. Harry Kane was a playmaker, played as a number 8, stroke number 10, majority of the game. He's not a striker. He's not a striker. Anyway,
no, bro. He's a striker, man.
No, listen, no. I don't see him as a striker when he plays for Spurs. I don't. He plays in midfield. We gotta be.
Well, bro, Dino, what I'd say to you is he can. Bro, look, just hear me out. Look, this is a 20-goal a season guy, not from midfield. Harry Kane is an out-and-out banger who has more than just that to his bow.
Okay. Well, tonight he had one shot and it was straight to the keeper. That's all I'm saying, right? Let me just get this.
Okay, tonight. Yeah, but if you have him, Dino, heading your line.
Number 9, a striker, a box guy. Harry Kane's not a box guy anymore. He's a midfield player or a number 10 now. He's not a box guy. Let me just.
No, bro.
No, he's not. I've seen him play all season. He plays deep. Let's not argue about this, please.
You're wrong, though.
We did not create enough chances. Only Bruno missed a chance in the second half. Of course we were shy. This has nothing to do with tiredness, people. Please don't give me an excuse that this is to do with mentality. Mentally, they bottled it. And Fred, like I said, anybody who thinks Fred is a footballer for Manchester United, you saw it tonight. He can't even say he was tired or fatigued. You can't even say that. For the past 10 games, he's been on the bench. He's hardly ever started a game. So it's not like tiredness. It's not tiredness. It's just he's shit. It's simple. He's shit. He's absolutely shit.
I agree with you, man. I agree with you, and I totally disagree with what he's saying because this is it.
Let me just get this. I don't think it's about 9. Kane was playing 10. We need to create more chances. Haaland missed fast chances, scored the 6. Got to keep creating chances. It's not about getting a striker. Exactly. It's about creativity. We don't create enough. We don't create enough, and we don't dominate the midfield enough. But I'll go to you, Jarvis. How did you see that game? I know you said that they're tired, but that's not an excuse for me. I'm sorry. Eric Ten Hag has come out multiple times and said, physically, we're fit enough. These players are fit. So, to me, it's about mentality. It is about mentality. And if Spurs had any strikers tonight, if Harry Kane was in the box, right? Harry Kane can't create for himself. So if Harry Kane was in the box and they played him as a striker tonight, he would have scored a hat trick because they miss fucking sitters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, big up to the panel and big up to the therapy army. So I'm glad you're all here. And second of all, I just want to
I'm on the United.
to the panel and big up to the therapy army. So I'm okay. Feedback. Yeah. Second of all, you know, the game was, you know, Nerdin, to be honest, I expect us to gas out in the 65-70 minute, because 120 minutes in the legs is a lot when you play at this level. Yes, it is. I played football myself for 35-40 years, and I know, you know, when I play tight games, if you do a good warm up, you'll find 2 days after, there's no problem. But your energy wears out in the 65-70 minute, because in the end, when you need the extra, you're out. So for me, I expected it, and you know, I think Ten Hag expected it because he did so many substitutions, but you know, he missed on the substitutions, and players, okay, Fred didn't have a good game. Malacia was a little bit shaky, and you know, Martial and Weghorst can't play together. You know, it's too static, and so Ten Hag has to take a lot of the blame for us failing. You know, we were up 2-0, so we could easily have won this game. But the one thing that irritated me the most was that Ten Hag didn't read the game good enough, because, you know, in Norway we call it Hawaiian football when the game is shifting from one side to the other side. I don't know what's the name in England, but to play a game like that, we needed a guy like Eriksson in the pitch, in the midfield, because when we intercepted the ball, he could start the attack in a good way, in a fast way with tempo. But when Eriksson gassed out, we moved Fred in the midfield, and Ten Hag moved Bruno on the right. I think that was the biggest mistake, because if he had moved Bruno into the central beside Casemiro, we would have had that guy. Because, you know, Spurs were doing everything they could. They just sat back and tried to counter us, but they weren't so precise all the time. So we had the ball and we had the chances to counter the counter, but we didn't have the players to play the ball up to our attack. So I think Ten Hag did a lot of mistakes today. So I'm not happy with his performance. But overall, you know, it's 2-2, a draw. We're not dead yet. I'll take it, you know. Yeah. You're on mute.
Esky, go ahead. I didn't see the game.
Yo, big up, man. Fucking, I've calmed down a little bit from that text I sent you, but bro, you know what it is? Yeah, fucking, you can say it's Ten Hag's fault and whatever else, you know, tiredness, this and that. No, you said it before, Nerdin. Big keyword, mentality. Yeah, I've gone sick at these Arsenal fans the past however many weeks for bottling it. Yeah, 2-0 up away from home, and we've gone and done the same. All right, we've paid 120 minutes in the capital, but at the end of the day, we've got fucking big Casemiro there, 5 Champions Leagues. Where was that experience today? Nowhere. Eriksson, he's there. He knows the team. No, nothing today. David De Gea is our most experienced player. He's fucking, you know, can't shout at I don't know, can't shout. I've never seen him shout at all. Just no leadership. Bruno played today. Yeah, I was happy he played. What was going on? Where was the leadership? We're 2-0 up. And you come out and you think it's okay. And I will blame Ten Hag a little bit, because he should be saying to these players, fuck the scoreline, it's 0-0. It's 0-0 second half, play your game. The moment these players start thinking, oh, we're coasting, it's 2-0, don't worry about it, it's only Tottenham. Look what happens. Look what happens. This again happened against Sevilla, did it not? We're 2-0 up, thought it was all right, hunky-dory. And what happens? I do blame the manager a little bit, but the manager can only do so much. You listen to Fergie back in the day. What you have lieutenants on the pitch. Roy Keane is that guy on the pitch where things are going bad. He's telling guys off. He's the guy you look to. We should have players like that on the pitch. On paper, we do. Where was it today? Absolutely disgrace. Like I'm so livid. Like, yeah, it's not that bad. Whatever, beat Villa and we're okay. But no, it's a mentality thing. Far too many times this season. And Ten Hag's mentioned it recently as well. Before this game, he said it's no good losing a game, winning your next one. If you go in, if there's a situation in the game, rectify it in the game. So it goes back to mentality. And I've got to question some of these players. Okay, we've not got our centre back partnership, which is massive, by the way. You try and control the game without your two main centre backs. Don't care who you are, it's difficult. If City have their two main centre backs out, it's hard. We don't have ours, right? But we're 2-0 up. This is what's frustrating me. If we were 0-0 half time and we end up drawing the game, that's fine. We were 2-0 up. So I'm disgusted by that, to be honest. These players need to take a hard look at themselves, and I don't blame Ten Hag as much. There's only so much you can do. You've got winners on that pitch. You've got absolute winners on that pitch. I don't understand what this team was doing, but that's my thoughts on it, man. I'm still a bit frustrated.
Pick up. Go ahead. Sean, talk to me. How did you see that game?
Yeah, man, I'm pissed as fuck, man. I don't understand where people are getting like this type of positive view. Like, I don't see where a victory is coming from. I don't see where we get a W from in the future. This game was embarrassing. Dropping 2 goals like this, I think it was a disgrace. Like, I think I would agree that playing 120 minutes the weekend and then playing again today definitely affected us. That's for sure. But I think it had more to do with just Ten Hag's naivete again. And the mentality, like as soon as he put Dalot on the right back, I tweeted it out. It's there. I said he's going to cost us a goal, and clearly he did. And the point about lieutenants on the pitch as well, I think that's what we're taking, because there were moments where like Tottenham was having wave after wave after wave of attack, and you could see Luke Shaw and Lindelof screaming, shouting, "Where is the midfield?" Like they just kept bypassing everyone there. Rashford was only interested in scoring. Sancho, I don't know where the hell he was. Anthony, all the players that were up front were only interested in scoring. There was a huge gap between our attack and our defense because everybody was far up the pitch. We saw City against Arsenal yesterday. That's what world class looks like. Like players who are willing to put their body on the line. Even the attackers as well are willing to get involved in the hard work of the play. We don't need attackers who are only interested in scoring. And that's what I see from the current crop of players that we have right now. All that they care about is putting stats on the board and scoring and not contributing to any play. I've never seen Anthony complete a cross, actually cross the ball from his leg to somebody else's, head or leg. Rashford is scoring, but like I don't think he's doing enough, in my opinion. I don't think he's doing enough to earn the leisure of just walking around the pitch and not contributing to the defensive play. Whatever it was that Ten Hag was thinking today, he bottled it like big time. It has to be on him. Because the issue of mentality, it comes from the top down. I don't see how you can blame the players for lack of mentality and not hold the coach responsible. It's a top-down thing. It has to be from whatever message he put to them. The team definitely took their foot off the gas at halftime. You could see it was obvious that we stepped back a little and allowed them to play. That had to be like a tactical decision from the manager, and it cost us as far as I'm concerned. I don't know where we're going to get a victory from. Like I'm not confident against Villa next during the weekend. I'm not confident in any of the games that we have left because the team there's something wrong with whatever is going on here. And the manager, I think, kind of like Pep in his first early years, he has a tendency to overcook it. He's overcooking stuff. Keep it simple.
I'll go to you, Otis. How did you see that game?
Oh man, I blame Ten Hag every angle of that game. Every angle of that game. You know why? The game against Brighton, the game against Sevilla, Ten Hag is showing me a little bit of stubbornness. I don't know if any of you all see that, but he's showing me a little bit of stubbornness. We were up 2 against Sevilla. We lost the game. Now against Brighton, he started Casemiro and Eriksen, right? The first half it worked. Second half, clearly it wasn't working because Eriksen was out of steam. Tottenham was playing. Ten Hag needed to take Eriksen off earlier and put on Sabitzer. Eriksen for Fred is Fred is the worst Manchester United player. Both him and Sancho, the 2 worst Manchester United player ever. I don't care what nobody want to say. I don't even know why Fred have a Manchester United contract anyways. Right? Ten Hag is to be blamed for this game. Poor substitutions. 2-0 up at halftime. Poor game management. I expected way better from Ten Hag. You're not two up fighting for top four and players on the ball, holding up, standing up, waiting 10 seconds to make a pass. Like, where's the killer instinct? Where is, we're going for these 3 points. We need this. Look at City against Arsenal. We were poor, man. And I blame Ten Hag for every hint of this loss, man. Stubbornness cost us this game. Stupid decisions. That's my view on it, man.
Big up, brother. Earth, how did you see that game? Let me just get this. Adewale says, I saw some reports about Casemiro to buy him. I hope all the red cards have not affected him mentally. He's been bad since the red cards. Well, he's been shocking. But nobody wants to have that. We're going to have the conversation because we don't shy away from anybody here. Nobody gets away with bullshit performances. Go ahead, Irfan. How did you see the game?
Wow. It's a tough one, isn't it? Because obviously everyone's mad as hell because we threw away a 2-goal and we were coasting in the first half. It was like, it was like a practice match. But then, that I said to you, me and you have said, I said 2-0 with United doesn't really mean anything because, this team has never proved it can hold a lead, because all you have to do against Man United is just score a goal and then that fragility comes out. And that's what we saw. I mean, it's a strange one because, although I'm mad, I'm actually relieved we got 1 point, to tell you the truth, because when I look at the misses that Son had and Dyer had, I'm like, how did we win? How do you even get a draw, to tell you the truth? We were very, very lucky. But I mean, it's a strange one because when I look at what we actually did wrong, I didn't really understand the subs. And then the capitulation in the midfield was like, wow. One thing I noticed was Anthony wasn't getting back to help Wan-Bissaka, and that's when Perisic came in the game. A lot of it was coming down that left side. And, all you have to do is just give this team a sniff with that 50, 60,000 crowd to get behind them. And that's what we did. And that's why everyone is mad as hell. But look, guys, this is what it's going to be like watching Man United from here to the end of the season. This is what it's going to be like. It's going to be topsy-turvy, up, down, fragile, moments of brilliant. This is what it's going to be like because, people, there's like 6 or 7 reasons I can give. Bad management, game management, poor substitutions, fatigue, players off form, slack passing. That's one of the biggest things I see with this team is the slack passing, giving the ball away all the time when there's no reason to. No one's on you. There's no pressure on you. You give it away. And that's the thing. So although it looked very, very good in the first half, I actually was thinking, gosh, are we going to be able to hold this? Because I was hoping that 3-0. Now, everyone's having a go at Bruno, but I'm not having a go for that miss because when it's that close and you're trying to clip it over the keeper, you can't hit the bar. I don't think that was a particularly bad miss. But what it was is we're not creating enough chances and we're not holding the midfield. I didn't understand why he didn't just pack the midfield, put another person in the midfield if everything's getting tied, put Sabitzer in there, take off one of your strikers or one of your wingers. Just keep hold of it and then look at it there. This is the thing I don't understand. So much as I want to get mad and I'm angry, I just think we need to just understand this is the level we're at. We're not at that level that we want to be at. And third doesn't mean anything or whatever. Fourth doesn't mean that much to us yet because we're there, but we're not a team that's comfortably there. Like I don't think that the top 4 is we're favourites to get it yet. We might have a lead, but the way we're playing is it's going to be squeaky bums every game till the end of the season. It really is. Villa are a form team. We may not get anything in that game. So it's hard to pinpoint one thing. It's a melee of a lot of things wrong with this team at the moment, and like I said, it's game to game because you just don't know. This very schizophrenic team, you just don't know what's going to happen with Man United. You just really don't, and that's what.
But that's not sustainable. Like it's not sustainable for us to be doing.
No. Listen, most of you said you wanted Europa League, and I kept telling you, most of you guys, those guys in the comments, you were like, no, we got to go for everything. I said this squad has got no strength, no depth, no quality. But most of you were like, no, it gives confidence. Yeah, well, now you're feeling it.
To be fair,
I look at the Liverpool form. Let me just finish. I look at the Liverpool form, and I look at the way the games that they have in the games that they play. They have a way easier run than Manchester United. But putting that aside, I just want to talk about, just to ask that I just see players rating getting overexcited about players. I just see like the likes of Fred, Casemiro today, absolutely shocking. We're going to talk
Fred,
about
Fred
Casemiro
more
now.
so than Casemiro, Nuruddin. Fred was shocker. Fred
No,
for
no,
shocker.
no.
Not
Casemiro,
conversation.
man.
Yeah.
Casemiro is like he's fucking got on a wheelchair, mate. He's got the fucking what's it called? Those scooter mobiles. No, the scooter mobiles, mate. It's like he's riding on one of the scooter mobiles for the people that have got mobility.
So, wait, so what's the reason for him being slow?
That's what I'm saying to you. And he's had more rest than anybody else.
But Nuruddin, they've just had 100. They've had 100. I'm not defending them. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Let me finish.
120 minute.
Come back. Let me just finish this. Listen, since he's come back in the team, he's had more rest than anybody else in his team. More rest. He didn't start all of the games at the beginning of the season, and he had more rest. And now he looks like. I look at him and think, fucking hell, are you somebody from the somebody that's won a lottery ticket to go and play for Man United or something? Like he doesn't even look like he's giving the ball away. He's not there like he was, getting at tackles, winning the ball back, reading the game. He's not back in position. Absolutely, people can get out of back four. And like I said, if Spurs had anybody who could finish, it was there. I actually think Eriksen tired, so he had to he has to take off Eriksen. But I'm like, Fred, like Sabitzer, give me Sabitzer. At least he's got a bit more energy and he can hold the ball a little bit. Tonight, it was about holding the ball. Again and again, we talk about it. And this is the point I tried to make, and people try to argue with me. When you get fucking more time in the fucking training ground, the coach can drill the passing drills where you keep the fucking ball. In times when the game is hard, you're under pressure, you learn to keep the ball. You learn to rest on the ball instead of giving it away like a fucking hot potato. Casemiro, guilty. Eriksen even guilty. Right? Bruno, part of it, guilty. All of the midfielders, fucking guilty. Rashford, guilty. Martial, when he came on, fucking guilty. Anthony, guilty. That was Anthony's worst game in the past 6 games. The worst game. He left Aaron Bissaka all by himself. So everybody didn't know whether to come out to the wing back or he was getting caught in between. And they kept bumping that crosses in. At the end of the day, bottle drop cowards will always be cowards. The default, like Irfan says, you score 1 goal and they literally shit their pants. This is what we have to deal with. But then people kept telling me in spaces today, I was in a space today, oh, you can't get rid of everyone. We've got to negotiate contracts with these players. Contracts with some of these players. I thought Shaw was really good first half defensively. I thought he was good on the cover. Second half, Harry Kane's turning him inside out. Basic. And anybody who's going to come out, was Malacia convincing since he come on the pitch? No, he wasn't. But anybody tried to blame him for that goal, you need to fucking wake up and smell the fucking coffee. David De Gea cannot give that ball there in that place because if you give him a play football, when your goalkeeper's taking the kick, everybody runs out. Everybody runs out. You follow the ball. You don't stay in position. So anybody saying Malacia is out of position, get the F out of here. He shows me you play no fucking football. When your goalkeeper is out of the ball, you expect him to clear the halfway line.
But he did. And Rashford couldn't win the header, and then it took like 2 passes. It took like 2 passes to go from Rashford losing the header for them to get to Harry Kane.
Yes,
and for
because everybody's out. Nobody's set. Everybody's looking up to go out. Like, you don't do that. You clear the ball so that it's in their fullback area, their wing-back area. That's what you do. But we're not going to talk about that because De Gea.
That's what he tried to do. But in the second half, we lost almost every single second ball. There was no one in the midfield.
Of course we did, because mentality. Cowards. Absolute cowards. Cowards. Nobody. When that going got tough, when it was 2-1 and we needed some composure, we needed somebody to put in a nasty challenge, maybe to slow their game down. You know what I mean? Fake an injury. Do that. Take the heat out of the game. Nobody can do that. Nobody. Instead, we think, oh, we're going to bump forward. We don't think, you know what? They're getting through us. Let's just hold in for 10 minutes or 5 minutes. Let's just sit in for a minute. Let's use them on the counter. Let's sit in for a minute. Let's use our fucking intelligence. Don't all bump forward. Let's sit back for a minute. We've got fast guys. Let's suck them in and then hit them on the counter.
But
That's what
that's what
Newcastle
I
have been
can't remember
doing.
who was
When you
saying
watch
this. I can't remember who
Newcastle's
was saying
games,
this.
Newcastle scored the first goal. What they do the other time, they sit back, hit them on a counter, score bare goals on the fucking counter.
Mm.
And you know what, guys? Here you get raw, real reactions. If you want a channel where people are gonna lie to you and go, well, 120 minutes, well, the players try, don't they? You're not you've not tuned up to the right fucking channel. You've not tuned into the right fucking channel.
That is a
At the
factor,
end of the
but
day,
I
it's
think it was
simple.
like
This is about
fluency here.
mentality. This is about mentality.
Yeah.
And we literally see it, the bottle job mentalities, the way they're looking at each other. So smash a fucking like on the video, subscribe to the channel because you're not going to get any raw or real reaction. Go ahead, Jarvis.
Yeah. First of all, I think you're a little bit too harsh on the players and the mentality, because the players played 120 minutes and their legs are fatigued. But we could see it from the get-go, from the first half. Most of the people who watch the game are happy with the first game. We were 2-0 up and everybody was hunky-dory. But the thing is, there were no balance in the team. You could see it. We were attacking and we were attacking good. We had creative play. We shifted the play. Everything worked offensively. But when we were going back, Spurs were attacking and Casemiro, he shielded nothing. His legs was gone this game. He shouldn't even be on the pitch because he couldn't intercept, he couldn't tackle, he couldn't stop any of the Spurs attack. So the game was flying both ways all the time. So fatigue definitely had a role in this. And you said so yourself, Casemiro. He didn't look like himself today.
He's been the same since he's come back. And he's had more rest than anybody else, so it's not fatigue. I'm sorry, Jarvis. I don't see that as fatigue.
He was worse than ever.
I don't see that as fatigue. Guys, we're 30 short of 7,000. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, share. Bombay, I'm going to go back to you. Are we going to have the uncomfortable conversations? Because some people think, I might lose subscribers if I talk about. No, here on this channel, we have the fucking uncomfortable conversations. Casemiro has been a bag of fucking shite since we come back. He's costing us fucking games.
True.
He's costing us games.
Okay, yeah. I mean, look, I watched the game, and this I'm not surprised, but that's not because we played badly. And I've explained to you, I am factoring in that we had a very grueling match. I believe that took its toll, and I started to see it. And I said before Jarvis came on, at 65, 66, 67 minutes, that we started to fade away a bit. I have to give credit to Tottenham.
But I'm really genuinely sorry. Watch that game.
I know you are, but you have to. But you asked me a question. Yeah, I know you are. You asked me.
It was from minute one.
Look,
it was from minute one.
Brother,
minute one, not 10 minutes,
brother,
not 60 minutes. From fucking
my brethren,
minute one.
you've asked me a question.
I need to
You've asked me a question. Let me give you.
Let him go.
Go on.
Me, I think Irfan and Jarvis are hitting the notes that I feel. There are certain realities that we have to accept, which means that we are limited in what we can do. You don't have a striker. So when you're talking about hitting targets, there is no target to hit. There is no target to hit. Weghorst came on. I thought he did okay. There's a few instances of him getting back towards our own box to make a tackle. He brought him in to give some respite, and that was what he was doing, dropping into the middle, trying to help out. Martial is a guy that likes outfield play. He goes and hunts for the ball. There's nothing to hit. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. You have to understand, yeah? Everybody has to understand there is a limitation without a striker. We have got 14 clean sheets. That's why you're winning a lot of games. David De Gea has to get some credit. He's been, as a goalkeeper, very good. I didn't think he was particularly bad with his feet tonight, to be honest.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, but
I wanna ask you a question. I wanna ask you a question. You're saying that this game has to do with strikers not hitting the target. That's why we drew.
Has to do no. This game has to do with a lot of things that you have to factor in.
You know what this game has to do with? Because I'm listening to everybody, and to summarize everything, all right, okay, the players are fatigued. Okay, the players are having a half season. Some players, okay. strikers not hitting the target. At halftime, we're 2-0 up.
That's what
Okay,
I'm saying.
we know we're fatigued. Okay, why not put substitutions on the field to protect your two? We saying strikers and all of that has nothing to
Yeah,
do
but
with
but
the
but
reason.
but but
Well,
but
let me
but
speak.
but
Let me
but,
speak.
but
Let me speak.
I didn't tell you that the manager had a perfect game plan.
No, that's what I'm saying. We're saying all of that, but to summarize everything, the reason we drew this game was poor game management.
Correct.
We are
Many
fatigued. We're
factors.
up
No,
2-0.
no,
No. It's poor game management, Mbaye.
no.
That's it.
Look.
No,
Very
let me
soft.
finish.
You can
Let me finish. Let me finish.
man, you can have your say in a second.
Okay, no problem. Go ahead.
Hang on, go on, Bombay, go on.
So there's certain realities you have to accept, and whether people don't think fatigue or whatever, that's up to them. Or that a striker to hit, that's up to them. Yes, the mentality. You know what I mean? We're trying to build that, but today I don't think my players turned up and didn't compete. It was an end-to-end game, and they were in the game all the time. Our second goal comes against the run of play.
No.
But that's the best Tottenham I've seen in a while. Okay, 2-0 up. Do you know what I mean? We shaded that first half. Second half, they came out and they were barraging. But do you know what? You have to give them credit, and we have our deficiencies. There's fatigue and there's some game management. Ten Hag didn't read it tonight properly. He should have made a decisive choice. Either we're going to protect this lead and counter, or we're going to continue to play. But you saw the substitutions. There's a commentary to be had in the substitutions that he makes. And Tottenham today, I thought they were very compact, and we're not notoriously good at breaking teams down anyway. Again, you don't have a striker to hit, nothing. You're trying to play on the periphery, and you're asking Sancho and Anthony to be Lionel Messi. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. They
but Ten
bypass
Hag
midfield.
didn't make
They
a choice now.
bypass midfield. They
Can I
bypass
ask you a
midfield
question?
and just flew at us. And they took risk.
Can
You
I ask you a
have to give
question?
them credit.
Can I ask you a question?
Go
Before
on.
the first whistle blew, the players had fatigue, right?
The players began to fatigue what I seen in about 65, 66 minutes.
That's not the question I asked. I asked before the first whistle blew, the players were fatigued because you said it's when the players are playing whatever and they play whatever minutes, so they're fatigued. This is what I am saying. As fatigued as
It's
the
a
players
factor.
are, 45 minutes we were up 2-0. Okay? So
Yeah,
there's no blame. You're going to blame nobody because we're leading 2-0. You can't blame the strikers for not putting the ball in the net because we're up 2-0, right? Now, as a coach and a manager, you see that you need to protect the city because this is what I've been saying. We're going for top 4. You can't be if, but maybe. You got to know what you're doing and hitting the nail on the head. Yes, we know players are this, players are that. You're going to pull. Why you have Ericsson that is so tired, Casemiro losing all the balls, your best bet off the bench is Sabitzer. Okay, it's evident Casemiro been having a poor game. Ericsson is tired. Ericsson is tired. So you're saying your best substitution right here is Fred? Not Sabitzer? Come on.
I mean, I don't know if the manager could. I don't know if the manager could have foreseen how shit Fred was. I don't think anybody
exactly.
could have foreseen
It's a good choice.
Fred was there. Yeah.
It's a good choice, Fred. To be honest. Yeah, of course.
No,
Man,
okay,
let me ask you.
Could have seen how bad Fred was.
What
he
does
didn't
Fred?
complete a single pass in the game. Like that.
Listen to Sean Otis.
Listen.
Nobody foresaw how bad was Fred's going to be. But why did you bring him on?
Bro,
Energy.
you mean you don't know how
Protection.
bad Fred's gonna be? It's from the season begin.
No.
Otis, I was with you up until this one.
Definitely.
If Fred is an average player, he shouldn't be starting. The midfield that started today is our best midfield. Casemiro, Bruno, and Ericsson.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, right? Casemiro and Ericsson play together. Ericsson is tired. Casemiro is having an off game. Your best bet off the bench from Fred or Sabitzer. So you're saying your best choice is Fred, right? That's what you're saying.
No, I'm saying hindsight is
No.
2020.
Otis,
and
I don't
you have
think
the
there's any
luxury-
substance here,
Yeah,
man.
you have the luxury of saying that, definitely somebody else should have come on. I agree with you that it was game management, definitely from Ten Hag. All this one about players being tired and all of that. He
All
knows
right,
that.
let me
so
ask
he
you
should
guys
have
a
made
question. For the past few games, Fred or Sabitzer, who's been playing the better football?
Who has been playing
Not
at all?
about to.
The question.
No.
No,
Who
bro,
has
bro,
been
bro.
playing better, Fred or Sabitzer?
No, I'll ask you a better
No,
question.
I asked you a question.
No,
You
no, no.
answer
I'll
my
ask you.
question.
There's not
Who's
an
Bro,
obvious
no,
playing
no.
better
Bro, there's
football,
not an
Fred
Why do you
or
bring?
Sabitzer?
There's not an obvious
Why
answer.
do you bring? Why do you
Fred
bring
played-
Fred on?
Okay.
Listen,
What does Fred give?
You still didn't answer my question. I
No, because
asked you.
no.
for the
Listen,
past-
Listen, I'll answer your question. Sabitzer was shocking against Sevilla, and Fred
Yeah.
was better in the second half
Yeah,
against
it's
Brighton.
revisionist
Fred was
history,
bad.
man. Like,
But you don't
yeah.
know with these guys. You don't know what they're going to do. You just don't know. Fred had
Otis,
3
you
or 4
have to
games.
know why you bring a player on. You have to know why you are bringing a player on. People
All
are
right.
tired. You need
Right.
you need to listen. You need protection. That's Fred's game. Go hunting. Give us protection. Give us
Again,
energy.
you
He
don't
was
need to
terrible.
go hunting for. Listen again. You have players that are tired. Listen, guys. We are tired, right? We are 2-1 up, or we're 2-0 up. We are tired. We are fatigued, right? Players not playing well. We see what's happening. And why go chasing something while you already have something? Why not protect it?
No, but to put
You're
back the image of
talking
Otis,
about something else now. You're moving the
part of the
goalposts here,
mistake
Otis,
that
man.
part
Okay,
of the mistake that I think Ten Hag made.
quickly. Ezekiel, Casemiro's form worrying. What are you thinking?
The form's worrying, isn't it? Like, it's conspiracy theory, isn't it, Raz? Is it fucking, are the refs out to get him? Is he shitting it because of all these suspensions now? Is he not putting in tackles? But to be fair, right, look, I can play devil's advocate on everything, Nuruddin, innit? It's what I believe in it, because I can look at it and say, for Real Madrid, he's never been suspended. He's never missed games. He's played most of the games at Real Madrid, season in, season out, top player. Comes to here and it's a bit checkered. He's in sometimes, out sometimes. His best run of form was earlier in the season after he's settling in. Why? Because he was playing consistently. Yeah, he was out, and then he had lots of time when he was off because there was an international break, so he missed games before then. So there's a couple of games he's missed. So what I can say is, yeah, he shot it today. He didn't turn up. But this is what I'm saying. I can't blame the gaffer. Do you think the manager's come in at 2-0 and said to him, just relax, it's fine? He's not told him that. You think Ten Hag has? Sorry, you think Ten Hag's gone in and said just take it easy now with 2-0 up? I can't buy that one bit.
He opted to sit back. I think he wanted to take his 2-0 and go home with it. I think he told them to take their foot off the gas. And
They have Harry Kane on the team. He's the best striker in England. Sorry, the second best striker in England. How is he going to say, let's just sit up shop and do nothing? It's not happening. Okay, guys, what other team in the world is missing their centre-back partnership? I couldn't name you one in Europe. We are missing our centre-back partnership and we're 2-0 up. It's a miracle. It's an absolute miracle what we're doing. Our away form from against the top 7 sides are shit anyway, and we're 2-0 up. So the striker argument's in the bin. We're 2-0 up anyway. The fatigue argument's in the bin. We're 2-0 up. What has happened in this game? Are the players has come up? Like I said, I disagree that Ten Hag said, let's just take it easy, whatever. He's going to say, just stay on top of it. Think, it's okay. Just keep doing what you're doing. Be resilient, and we'll hit him on the break. Players have sat back. Things happen, and obviously it's fucking gone to bits. But I'm looking at it like, where's the leadership? I can't blame Ten Hag for that. He's not on the pitch. He's not on the pitch. The boys have gone in the game, gone half-time 2-0 up, and the boys have then gone out and then dropped 2 goals. I can't blame the gaffer for that. He's definitely not said to him, let's just chill and do whatever. This isn't how he is. This is a serial guy, man. No way in hell.
You guys are protecting Fred because we see it. Fred can't even kick a
not
ball.
It's not about Fred.
Fred can't even kick a good, powerful
not
shot.
about Fred.
I've got an agenda. If I say that, I've got an agenda. Let me just get the super chat. Adewale said, big up for the super chat, bro. He said, the team can't keep the ball. Facts. If we had players who could keep the ball, we win. We scored 2 goals in the first half. No reason to see the game out. We needed a midfielder and a goalkeeper so we can keep the ball better. I couldn't say it better more, but we don't have that. We talk about it every time. None of these players, even though they're internationals, they can't keep the ball.
You keep the ball for 90 minutes, already, and let's get right. Keep the ball for 90 minutes.
Then I saw no. You keep the ball at the critical moments in the game when the other team.
No, but I'm talking about keeping the ball for the whole game.
Listen, no, take the heat out of the game. No team in world football can keep the ball for 90 minutes.
No, but but ball control.
You're not playing against amateurs. You're playing against professionals, right? But at the critical moments, teams know how to take the steam out of the game, how to bypass, how to people to go down, how to stop their rhythm, how to like do certain things that you can do. The shithousery, they don't do it. Question is, do you think these subs are already decided before the game starts? I think the other reason that's few time Eric and I had sent like, listen, he tried to improve it from what I saw in the second half. From second one, they fucking came and they came at us, and we just looked passive. I said, I always tell you, if to play the Ericsson Ten Hag style, if the team doesn't have any physicality, any intensity, any aggression, it's not winning second balls, and it's not keeping the ball, you might as well fucking go home. You might as well just turn it off. If you can see the team are not doing that, turn it. To me, honestly, 2 minutes at Liverpool, at City, I turned it off half time. Liverpool, when he went to 4-0, there's so many games. Newcastle, I turned it off after it was about 60 minutes because I was like, they're not even competing. So what's the point in watching? What's the point of watching? I'll go to you quickly, Jarvis. Sean. I'll go to Sean. Sean, Casemiro, how worrying is it? And how worrying that this team is just mentality cowards. Like coward, different manager, same old cowards. What is it? Is it a fabric of this football club? It's just become cowardly? I mean, we bottled it at the club that's bottled it the most in the last 20 years. One of the most famous bottlers in world football. I mean, an Italian defender came and said, but it is the Tottenham. It is in their history. They always bottle it.
I'm not as concerned. I'm not as concerned about Casemiro, I think, as you are, because I think, like I said on the previous show, I think with Casemiro, every time he's been out of the squad, whenever he comes back, it takes him a while to get into the rhythm of things. I think 120 minutes before for a 31, 32-year-old footballer is going to count, definitely. I think thirdly, Casemiro is part of the spine. The spine includes Martinez and Varane. If you take out those two guys from the spine, it's going to be hard for Casemiro to get into the groove of things. Number 4, I don't think we should build our future around Casemiro. I've been saying it for a while now that we need to have an understudy for him, definitely. So, whatever his age is going to tell, either now or in the next season, we're going to have to start planning for the future, after Casemiro, definitely. For the bottling mentality that you're talking about, I think if you want to have hard conversations need to be about Rashford, Sancho, what's the name of this clown? On the right, Anthony. Definitely, we have created a mentality. We have created a permission structure for these guys to walk around the pitch based on the idea that they score goals or that they deliver. That's not good enough for me. And I don't accept that. And I think that's what cost us the game today, because everyone kept bombing forward, like they were saying. These guys, they were playing essentially only in Tottenham's the box 18 or in that first quadrant of the pitch. No one wanted to run back. No one wanted to put in a foot, put a fucking challenge in. Stop them from driving through the midfield as if there was no one there. Luke Shaw and Lindelof, they were under the cosh because every time they just kept attack after attack after attack. The goals were inevitable. It could easily have been, based on Tottenham's second half performance, it could have been 5-2. It could have been 4-2. They could have scored many goals because they had many chances against us. And I don't blame De Gea. I don't blame any of the defenders apart from Malacia and Dalot. The Malacia guy, I know he looked like it was a bright spark in the beginning of the season, but as far as I'm concerned, he's a clown. He sleeps a lot. He's not focused as he should be on that left back. Same thing goes for Dalot. Sloppy on the ball, not at the level that we need to be. And it applies to Anthony, Sancho, and Rashford, in my opinion. Rashford looked his best when he was playing in the center, when he didn't have to be on the ball too much. Put him on the right, ask him to make decisions, to impact the game. He looks like a fucking joke, and it was embarrassing. That mentality that you're talking about, I think it comes from the manager, and to push back against the person who was saying he doesn't think Ten Hag.
So every manager, Sean.
No, not every manager.
Or Jose, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Now,
the bottling thing you have to be very considerate when you talk about bottling, because bottling is a worldwide phenomenon that has affected PSG, Bayern Munich, Man City at times, Tottenham, Arsenal. If you find yourself in an away stadium, if the fans get it easily ahead, they get passionate. Anybody can bottle the game. It can happen to anyone. We've had a history. We've had a history of bottling consistently, yes. But I think it's not because of the people you think it's because of. And I think the manager has a responsibility he has a role to play in arresting this bottling mentality. Definitely. I think if when we're dominating the ball, you see that our wing backs play centrally, like they move centrally, and then the wide men stay out wide. Fullbacks. Yeah, they move centrally. Like, so you see, like they play almost like midfielders. That's when we want to dominate the ball. When we want to sit back, you can see there's a different style of play. Like we play more in a flat back, 4-4-2 or something. That's what we went to essentially in second half, because it seemed to me like Ten Hag wanted to like manage the game. Because of the fatigue and everything, he thought that we could get away with doing it. I don't think he could have planned for how shit Fred was. Like, I'm sorry, he didn't complete a single pass. He didn't win a single tackle. He was late to everything that he was on. I don't know how you could have planned for that. I don't know how you could have planned for Malacia, having not played any game at all, coming on and not knowing that somebody was coming from behind him. I don't know how you could have planned for that low ball watching literally, and allowing Saul to come from behind him to score. There's a limit to what the manager can do, to be fair. But at the same time, it's all of them. It's the whole squad. It's the players up front, Rashford and the likes of them, who think that all they're here to do is score. Like, as long as they score goals, they don't have to play, they don't have to participate, in the team play. They don't have to hustle, they don't have to win any tackles or do anything. It's the people like, I mean, to be fair to Casemiro, he's been asked to do a lot. He was asked to marshal the midfield alone, essentially, because even with Eriksen and Bruno around him, what they bring to the team is ball control. They bring stability. They bring ball retention. No other person is winning. No other person is willing to put in a tackle aside from Casemiro. How do you expect to win? I mean, how do you expect to get anything out of the game where you have only one person tackling?
1 second, Sean. Brother Otis, nobody kicked you out, bro. Nobody kicked you out. I'm not that kind of person, bro. So don't be making those allegations. I don't kick anybody out.
Come on.
Nobody's kicked anybody out, brother. There's no point in me inviting you if I'm gonna kick you out. I've never kicked anybody out.
I'm gonna kick Nurin out. Don't you worry. I'm gonna go kick Nurin out.
Bro. Listen. The link is still there. Jump back on.
I don't know, man. I'm frustrated, and to be honest, like I'm not confident against Villa. Like I don't see how we can. Like I don't know where the next 3 points.
Sean, Villa's going to be a much tougher game than this game was. Much tougher game.
And as you were saying, if we concede, there's no morale. There's no one willing to take the game by the scruff of the neck. Bruno does it sometimes. Casemiro is a leader, but the loss of Martinez and Varane, honestly, like where it's.
Sean, let me ask you a question then.
Otis.
No. You guys misinterpret what I said, man. When I say I got kicked out, didn't mean you guys kicked me out. I mean, like I just dropped out. I didn't know what happened.
Okay. All right.
Not that way. Let me ask
you a question. Can anybody remember when we played solidly for 90 minutes? Can anyone remember?
70. So we played for 70 minutes against Spurs at the home.
Yeah, the first leg, yeah, Tottenham.
No, so if I just said to you, was the last time we played good for 90 minutes? You just said to me, I remember playing at home at Spurs 70 minutes. That's it. Can you remember? Anybody else remember?
No,
that's a fair question, because I think as somebody said earlier on, it's impossible to play well for 90 minutes. Definitely, the game is going to have ebbs and flows.
All right, wait a second. Did City play well for 90 minutes against Arsenal? Did City play well for 90 minutes against Arsenal?
Not for 90 minutes. There were definitely moments that Arsenal had where they had some
combination. I give up, man.
But the difference was that City had a world-class player in De Bruyne. Like that was the difference. De Bruyne and Haaland,
they were in control of the game for the whole game. The whole game they're in control. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying that you dominate every single moment of 90 minutes. I'm talking about when you're in control of the game for 90 minutes. Can someone tell me the last time United were in control of the game for 90 minutes?
Irfan, I know what you mean. But no, Manchester United don't have a tendency to be able to do that. We play in moments, and that is what we look at and think, okay, we see progress. We need to make that flow more throughout the game. But I do get what you mean in terms of playing well for 90 minutes.
What I'm saying is that's what we're missing. That's the level. We're not at that level.
Yeah, we're trying to get there. These are the realities. These are the touch points you allude to.
I don't think our options are. I don't think our options are control the game for 90 minutes or lose a fucking two goal lead. Like it's a false choice. That's not like, it's not either or. We don't have to control the game for 90 minutes to not do the type of shit that we did today or the type of shit that we did against Villarreal. Those are not our options. options. We didn't have to control this game for 90 minutes to not drop points the way we did today. That's where I would disagree with you.
Sean, no, but my point is, I'm saying, if you want to win a game of football, everybody knows is you have to control the game to a degree for 90 minutes.
And we had zero control of a game. Away record has been dog shite.
Yeah.
I put the challenge to the players. We talked about it on here. Can they go away into stadiums, tough stadiums with big crowd and hostile crowd, and can they hold that a win? Can they scrape a win it ugly? No, they can't. They're cowards. Simple. Jarvis, I'm gonna bring you in. Was there any positives to take from the game? We're gonna quickly, the last 10 minutes, we're gonna talk about the Glazers, and we're gonna talk about Jim Ratcliffe, that fucking snake, the snake, that prick of a snake. We're gonna talk about him. But what do you is there any positives to take from this game? Did you see anything in the 90 minutes that made you think our top four would be all right?
Yeah, we have more positives at the table. We have 6 games left now, and we're ahead of Spurs with 6 points and 2 games ahead, or I think we have something like that. So I don't think Spurs will ever catch us. And Newcastle is going on. So, but I don't give a f if we go third or fourth. Champions League is the thing that we need. And I would say positives from the game. Sancho scored. Okay, maybe he gets a little bit more confidence. We need him to in the last games because Anthony can't play every game. Rashford can't play any game. We need one extra man to rotate. And I will also say I think Eriksen looks better. He's been a little bit off since he came back from the injury, but today he had some brilliant moments. One when he had that no-look pass to Rashford, and I think he controlled a lot of the game in the first half, especially going forward. So there's a couple of positives, and yes, the biggest positive is we have Martinez out, and now Luke Shaw looks like a pit bull, and the Swede in the middle, he looks really good. He looks calm and controlling, and I think especially in the first half, De Gea had a okay game. He had the freedom to smash it long, so he did in a couple of times. But he also played it short, and we tried to play it out from the back. So there's many positives from this game. But the result, when you're 2-0 up, you can't be happy with the draw. But okay, it's not the end of the world. That's my take from this game.
Okay, big up to you, bro. Thank you. Eski, Radcliffe camp declined to comment on media reports that his consortium has decided to offer the Glazers the option to stay as shareholders. He cited the signing of the NDA business, which is bullshit because they've been briefing. His camp have been briefing everybody about what they wanted to do and their plans. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I heard about that. Obviously, the NDAs and stuff like that. But what do I think about it? I mean, yeah, you have to do that. You have to sign NDAs and not talk about all these things because realistically, who the fuck knows about anything?
Even after they signed the NDA, Radcliffe, the journalists close to Radcliffe, have been briefing the briefing. So it's just the biggest hypocrisy and the biggest lie to hide behind NDA now. When you were briefing journalists who are briefing against Qatar, like we already know there's certain journalists that are coming out hard against Qatar, and they are basically being briefed by Radcliffe. So what do you say about Radcliffe keeping the Joel Avram for 20%?
If the Glazers' name are attached any way, shape, or form in Man United next season, the protest will be biblical. I can tell you that for nothing, guys. If they're here part time, in and out, or whatever owners and gyms allowed them to stay, believe me, it won't stand with the fans. Will not stand at all. Like they are gonna have to go. Realistically, it's just gonna get ugly for them. All the sponsors, you think, Team Viewer are dropping us. You think all these guys think it's bad now. Jim Ratcliffe, is he a snake? It's whatever really. It's all these tactics. I'm sure the Sheikh's gonna be doing the same, pulling out his own PR about Jim and all this stuff and that how he's ran Nice and his businesses and whatever else. Some human rights allegations. So I mean, it's what it is really. It's all the game. We'll have to see. When's the deadline? Tomorrow at 10 o'clock allegedly. Yeah. Friday.
Yeah,
Allegedly, right. So if there's no more extra shenanigans that happens tomorrow, we'll see what happens tomorrow. But Jim Radcliffe, look, listen, I don't want him to be our owner, not really, because look, there's evidence of him running East. It's not that well run, and there's talks of him if he is gonna, like you're saying, take over United, the Glazers will still have some part to say in it, which ain't gonna sit well with the fans. And number two, if he does take over a full majority stake and the Glazers piss off, then we're just gonna be in debt to this company Ineos, aren't we? Because they'll bankroll the money, and then we're going to have to owe them down the line. So we'll be in this situation in another 5 or 10 years. So we'll have a little bit of fun, but then we'll be back to square one in there. So for me, Jim Radcliffe, say what he wants, and if Sheikh Jassim doesn't get it by next year, then we'll see what happens at Old Trafford week in, week out.
Big up to you. I'll go to Otis. Otis, if Jim Radcliffe, so this is the thing, this is what's been reported. Jim Radcliffe is gonna make sure the Glazers stay and keep their 20%. Joel and Avram.
Trust me, I'm all in Glazers. How Jim Radcliffe can go on, man. Jim Radcliffe can go, man. Straight up. New owner, new owners. Not with Jim Radcliffe on his offer. We need Glazers out. That's just my take on that.
I don't know what happened to him. I can't hear him. Can you hear him?
You guys not hearing me?
Nah.
No,
Yeah.
I think he just had like a little to say.
You hearing me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now, bro.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm full Glazers out. No, I'm not with what Radcliffe want to half or anything like that. Just full Glazers out. New ownership, and that's just my take on that. Glazers out fully.
Big up. Irfan, Radcliffe's behaving like a snake that he is, snaking his way. Try to find a way because he hasn't got the money. So Ineos are going to borrow it, but there's going to be more debt for Manchester United, and he's going to keep the Glazers in.
Exactly, and
I'm not surprised one bit, Nuruddin. I'm not surprised one bit. When that news came out, I read it earlier on today. I just thought that was him cozying up to them to try and get control of the club. He'll sell them anything. You can't trust any of these guys. You can't trust a single one of them. You just can't. You can't trust a single one of them. This is just how it is. It's a dirty world of business, and especially at this level, where we're talking about, getting one of the, the greatest sporting assets, clubs in the world. People will use any tactic. These guys will. These guys to get to the top. They've done stuff like this probably their whole lives. You can't make you have to make difficult decisions, and you have to play dirty. You play dirty to get what you want. And this is what the finance capital world is like. It's a very dirty, poisonous world. So I'm not surprised by this idea that he wants to keep 20% just to keep them on side, and maybe he'll be favorable. They'll be favorable to his his idea, his scheme to get a hold of the club. And and obviously they're all briefing against each other. I mean, I don't want this. I want a clean slate. I want a break with all these people. I don't want anyone. I don't want them guys to, and no fan wants them to keep the 20% ownership of the club. But it's getting to that stage. It's getting dirty. This is what it's like to take over the club. I mean, didn't Malcolm Glazer didn't he do something dirty to get hold of the club in the first place himself? Didn't he do some stuff like this to a certain degree anyway?
He did the biggest leverage takeover of any fucking sports club in this country, in Europe. The biggest leverage debt takeover in the history of sport in Europe.
The government should have stopped it. The government should have stepped in and stopped it, but it didn't.
Brown and Blair.
But neoliberal economics, Nuruddin, everyone is in the all the top finance of the world, the money in the world is fully in favor of neoliberal economics, which basically shafts pretty much everyone from the middle class to the bottom, and allows the elite, the banking elite, to keep hold of most of the money. And when they fail with it, when they gamble with it, when they lose it, they expect the taxpayer to pay them off. And that's how all governments work. That's how the EU works. That's how America works. They all work the same way. And this is where we are. This is why America, in Britain, is a free for all for big money. It doesn't matter where the money comes from. Russia, doesn't matter where you got your money from. England says, if you got the money, you can live here. Don't worry about it. It's not good money. You don't need anything. We'll give you a passport. As long as you got millions, spend it in our country, that's fine. We don't care how you got it. This is how Britain works. So I'm not surprised. But we can't have Radcliffe doing this stuff and giving away 20% to the Glazers. Hopefully this is going to backfire spectacularly for him, and the fans are not going to like him anymore. That's what I hope.
Big
Can
up,
I
F.
can I just say something near reading and help us real quick? And I know why I don't want to stay also, partly because I have to go and partly because I don't want to trigger you. I don't want to get into it back and forth. But I just want to remind everyone, initially when this whole thing started, I tried to remind people that Manchester United Football Club is the crown jewel of English football. It's going to
It
be
is.
very difficult, very extremely difficult to sell it to Qatar, number one. Number two, as in, so like all the propaganda that we've seen, people try to dig up dirt on the Qataris, people try to make it about like all sorts of double standards, hypocrisy, all of that. I get it, but that is the political reality that we're in right now. It's going to be difficult to sell a club whose manager was knighted by the Queen of England, a club who essentially is intertwined with British politics to Qatar. That's number one. Number two, let's all remember that, as Irfan rightly said, we live in a neoliberal capitalist society, which is that money speaks and money speaks the loudest. It is entirely the Glazers' prerogative. And as much as we're upset, as much as we're all very angry about the Glazers, I don't think they could care less about what we're saying. Um, and the match going fans, I think there are far too many fans who also don't care, who would show up at the stadium and put money in
Agreed.
their
Hold on.
pockets
Correct.
for
Correct.
for for
Correct.
them for us to be able to exert any leverage. We don't have any leverage on the Glazers. It is entirely their prerogative, and their objective is going to be to find the best deal for them. The best deal for them, not for the club, not what will make the fans happy. None of that. The best deal for them. They are looking for a capital injection. That is what they're interested in. If a capital injection keeps them with 20% of the club, all well and good. If especially now that it looks like a manager is on the right track, why would they want to leave right now when it looks like they finally found a manager who one will not trash them in public, who is willing to get the best out of players like Wan-Bissaka and others who we thought were lost causes, who it looks like is getting the team on the right track. Why would they want to leave right now? My advice to fans just before I sign off is, let's try not to get too worked up over the outcome of this sale, because if we do, let's try and lower expectations from the Glazers, because we don't have any leverage and there's little or nothing we can do about it. So our expectation should be that all we should hold them to, all we should expect from any new owner, any new investor, is that they back Ten Hag in the summer. That's really all that matters. Who is at the top? Who is running the club? None of that means anything. Backing Ten Hag is the most important thing, and whether or not they can, sell off the club completely, that's a much more difficult, much longer conversation to be had. And the Glazers are likely to look for something that benefits them, that allows them to keep a stake in the club and still earn dividends and earn some money over a long period of time. But if they go out, if all of us can pull together $6 million, to talk about the club, all well and good. But in the absence of a fan who has that much money, or a fan crowdfunded money, we're just going to have to observe and hope for the best and expect the worst. So big up,
Okay,
guys.
Sean,
Yeah.
I'll let you off. I'll let you off this time. I'm in too much pain. I've got too much shoulder pain to go crazy. But big up
What's
to you.
happened to your shoulder?
I don't know if I just get really bad. My shoulder. I'm in excruciating pain, even taking ibuprofen. Jarvis. Sorry, actually, Malcolm. I'll go to Malcolm. Malcolm, join us. Malcolm, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Yeah, Malcolm. So Jim Ratcliffe wants to give the Glazers 20% to keep the Joe and Avram, the two brothers, in with his deal. So he gets 50%, gives them 20%.
To me, that's just a whole lot of bullshit right now. I was just talking about this on my channel right now. And you guys can go back and watch it back live. Actually, no, you can watch it back on my channel. But look, to me, if you're, as a potential owner who's trying to, buy Manchester United, is giving in to, having a shared investment with the Glazers to me, that's just really overdoing it. Because first of all, the Glazers, if the Glazers leave, they should be nowhere near this club. Nowhere near in terms of business, football wise. They should be nowhere near this club. Like I shouldn't even be hearing. We shouldn't even be hearing their name. Like them and should not be mentioned once. And second of all, the Glazers are not, in terms of, banking, they're not stupid. And so if they hear about a potential, you know, a potential share in the, um, if they hear about a potential, a sharehold in the club, they're not even gonna think twice about rejecting it. They're gonna take that. And if Radcliffe takes if Radcliffe is selected as the owner of the club, the Glazers one way or another are gonna stay. They're gonna stay, whether
Big up, big up.
whether we like it or not. And just one more thing I wanted to touch on. And if Radcliffe is actually trying to if Radcliffe is doing that, that just shows me that one, you don't have the money. You don't have you don't have the funds to have to have a full ownership at the club. Second, um to me, that you're just really it just shows like you're just not really um get it just shows me that you don't have really have the ambitions that this club needs to be successful. So yeah, that's pretty much really what I'm gonna say.
Big
So
up, bro. Mumbai,
yeah.
I'll go back to you and then we go to Jarvis. Um,
Bro, you've already answered your own question. It's been answered three different ways. The guy is trying to make himself a bit more attractive because he hasn't got the money by saying to them, "You can stay on if you like." He's playing dirty. That's the level of the game. End of story.
okay, Jarvis.
Yeah, when it comes to the Glazers, I don't want them to stay at all. Because they are American owners. I'm not taking a dig against Americans because I love America. I have relatives there, and I go to America every other summer and stay there for a month. So I love America, but they have another fan culture than we have in Europe and the rest of the world when it comes to football. I've been to hockey games, NHL, and stuff like that. People dress up in crazy costumes to be individuals. They go to the game. They have kiss cams and in the intermissions and shows, and they throw t-shirts at you and serve beers, and everybody is happy. But it's about individual pleasure. It's about buying merch and supporting the local club. But in Europe we have groups. We have supporters who are singing together, and it's passion. We love our clubs. We love our love United and everything. So the Glazers have never understood this because there's a difference. So they have always tried to commercialize our club in so many different ways with red wine and clocks and all those other things. But I have never understood they have to please the group of fans and try to make a team. Because okay, we can accept that we're not the best team all the time. I can accept that, but we need to see results. We need to see that they are trying, but they have never tried. And if Glazers stay, this shenanigans will just go on and on and on forever. We will always be just a milking cow and a commercialized Mickey Mouse, Disney something, and I don't want that. So for me, it's 100%. Glazers need to go. We can't have them in our club because at the moment they are destroying us.
Okay, big up. Big up to you. Big up Jarvis. Mupsy says, big up Mupsy TV. Super thanks for the super chat, bro. The second half, I was angry Do we want top 4? I don't think they do. Some of these players, the cowardly way they perform. This game should have been out of bed. Martial, Fred, rubbish today. Villa will be tougher game, yeah? Yeah, 100% Villa will be coupled. Villa about have 4 days rest. 4 days, 5 days rest. We're going to have 2.5 days rest. But it is what it is. Thank you for the super chat. Big up to Nadeem, my brother. Says 20% still worth $1 billion. Say in a few years' time they want to sell for $2 billion. You will need to borrow more money and buy them out. We're doomed. Well, it is what it is, innit? Comedy FC, like the brother says. Let me just get this here. Flash it up. With the Glazers, the comedy never leaves, bro. The comedy's here. We're a Netflix special. We are a Netflix special.
Not comedy, Nurin. It's a Greek tragedy. It's not comedy. It's a Greek tragedy. It's a different thing.
No, it's comedy for the rest of the world.
It is for them, yeah. For the haters, it is, yeah.
It's a comedy for the rest of the world. Big up to every one of you. There's been over 200 of you in here all night through the night tonight, all through the stream. Please subscribe to the channel. We're 30 away from 7,000. Smash a like on the video and share the video. Let people know about the community. Even when we're in extremely pain, I'm in so much pain. It's unbelievable. I haven't even got the energy to shout and scream anymore. Even a slightest little movement, my shoulder's aching. So it is what it is. But big up to you. I wasn't going to shirk this. Regardless how much pain we are, we're never going to shirk it. We're always going to go live if the internet allows us to. But it is what it is. Big up to all of you. So the least you can do is subscribe and smash a like on the video. And I'll quickly get everybody's... I'll get everybody. So Malcolm, you can find Malcolm at Malcolm Kisa. And then YouTube, MK United 19. Jarvis is I don't know why he keeps doing this.
Yeah, I know. I removed it because I'm on other channels and stuff like that.
Oh,
but
sorry.
It's weekly armchair sports, and you can follow me on Twitter, Bowley77.
Bowley, BOLE 77. Find Otis on YouTube, Otis Adventurous TV. Find him on there. Irfan Rainey at Twitter, Irfan Rainey on Instagram, music, Irfan Rainey. Eski, you can always find him here. Bumbaye, you can always find him here. But big up to everybody. Win, lose or draw, Glazers out, Bankers out. And if Radcliffe, the fucking rat, thinks he can stay at this football club, he's got another thing fucking coming. He thinks the Glazers will give the Glazers 20% and they will stay. We will see. Trust me.
No, to get control of the club. Yeah, that's why
we will see. We will see. We will see how much what he does.
Don't forget to mention the protests.
Oh, yeah, the protest. That's what I was going to come to. Protest on Sunday from 11 o'clock at Deansgate. 3-mile walk up all the way up to Old Trafford from 11 o'clock. So 3-mile walk up. We'll be there. Hopefully, I'll try to get some footage and we can play it over the channel or put it at least on Twitter. So big up to every one of you. If you're in Manchester, if you're around in England, north of England, make sure you can come to the protest. We need your voices. 1958 asking people to stay 18 minutes outside. And that will be a good thing, I think, to stay outside for 18 minutes as a symbol of the 18 years, terrible years they've owned this football club and what they've done. Big up to Ariane Rashid, love and light, brother. I hope the GCSEs are going well. Like I said, once you finish your GCSEs, you're back on here, my friend. But I hope you're getting the revision in. Big up to every one of you. Love and light. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. We're 30 away from 7,000. You're not going to get any raw reaction anywhere after games like that. You're never going to get it. We come on here. We assess the games as honestly as we can. Zero agendas. We call out the players who have not performed. And when they perform, we praise them. That's how it is. Nobody gets personal here. But if anybody thinks Fred has got a future at Man United, then you've got another thing coming. Honestly, shocking. Absolutely shocking. Absolutely abysmal. And we can't even blame Maguire tonight. But if Maguire was playing, I know we would have conceded 3 or 4. Fact. If you know, you know.
Definitely. Yeah.
If you know, you know.
We need the first half that we played today. We need a second half like that as well. That's all it is. That's the aim.
At the end of the day, we can't keep a ball, and you can't do that. If you can't keep the ball,
we kept it well in the first half, though, didn't we? We kept the ball well in the first half.
Second half, from the first second, they came first attack within 5 seconds. That just shows you no mentality whatsoever. Bottle jobs, and I don't blame managers. I blame the players. It's in their DNA, and we bottled it against the club that bottles it the most. But win, lose or draw, Radcliffe fucking out. glaze us out, and the bankers fucking out. We'll see you hopefully on maybe Saturday for the. We'll do a preview. It'll be a quick one where we'll do a preview hopefully on Saturday. Peace, love, light. Glaze us out again. Bank us out. Join us on the 11 o'clock on Deansgate as we march up all the way to Old Trafford. 3-mile march. There you go, people. There you go. You know what to do now. You know what to do. Hopefully, I beg and pray majority of the fans stay 18 minutes outside. That game, I think, is televised, and that game shows the how much we hate these vultures. But peace, love, and light. Take care, people. Good night.